I start? There's a reason why just put this picture up. Because you know what? There's plenty of individuals and children, young women, children, fighting from their angle as well. You know, just because they're not out here on camera screaming and hollering or repeating the same methods towards the enemy from a long time ago. There's missing children that are dying or being taken every single day. And everyone just jumping the gun from one angle fighting, thinking that they're actually doing something. But I'm not up here to talk about other people's fighting methods or repeating methods or how they should fight at all. What I'm saying is, there's people that's fighting based off of poisoned food, poison lifestyles that sometimes we don't even really hear about. Just because a fool is not up here fighting or arguing with a cop doesn't mean that he or she or those children are not fighting. I am so sick and tired of people thinking about themselves. Or they repeated tactics. And there's been a lot of men, women, children, and older elders that are dying from sickness and diseases every single day, and they have fought to the end. And a lot of people don't really know who they are. This camera and these devices have really set people aside to believe that just because you are on camera that you are the only one fighting or the only one that's capable of fighting because you say this is how it was back then. So you should do the same thing. And that is bullshit. Some of these men and some of these fighters out here have been poisoned. Okay? Literally poisoned on purpose. Because they went whatever way the Most High decided them to go to fight, to live, to avoid certain terrorism problems that continue that continues keep boiling every single day. You don't need a gun all the time to sit here and say that you're not afraid, that you're not scared. I've been hearing so many years, arm up, get your gun license, get this and that, right? No disrespect to people that want to do whatever they want to do. But you keep telling people to get such and such from the same enemy that you bitching about, right? Now, these individuals, okay, now this is basic because, like I said, I've been involved in understanding certain things for a long time. And it's been since the early 90s. And I'm like sitting here for decades at a time, hearing the same shit over and over again. Okay, when scripture specifically states that he who lives by the gun dies by the gun. Sometimes that doesn't necessarily happen. Sometimes it does because either somebody in the midst of another person has been using that gun towards other people and it comes back. However, it came back. Yeah. Sometimes we think a big mouth person is a hero to you or them. And at that not saying anything will just keep repeating the same old time, old fashioned methods. Okay. Now a lot of people from the past then use their mouth as a weapon. Okay, and sometimes those things that have necessarily not been beneficial for the people that they're arguing for. Sometimes one fool can really sit here and say things that cause problems for the group that's not really into that. You got to be in a full example of, don't forget, there's children and there's women and children behind in the fight. If you sitting there thinking that somebody's going to listen to you and your anger issues, now forgetting that we're all living in some of these states and blocks, neighborhoods still got gang members, still got people that's out here doing stupid shit too, that these fools are not going to use not only your skin, your complexion, okay, with various means of warlike tactics. Meaning there's skin Halloween almost coming up. Okay, and if you understand what I'm saying, I don't know what to tell you. But there's various skin masks and everything else out here that's going on. Okay, that people are using that hate you so bad that you still ignore it. Some of us know it. Some of you still ignore what's going on. And I think we really need to slow down with this shit of telling people what to do. Because, like I said, you're forgetting on these blocks in these neighborhoods, there are children and women. That is so many high volumes of single parentness that's running around in these streets that you're telling people to get armed up for. Unorganized at that, right? What are you going to do when things do really fully erupt that these children and these women have to be taken care of and protected? You never pay attention to a fool. I even noticed that because I used to be an angry motherfucker. I used to walk around Philly a lot, angry as hell, and thought that everything that I did or said was the right thing in the world. I think it was to a point where I didn't even care about who was around me. Okay. That I might destroy their life or do such and such. So you gotta watch a fool in his anger sometimes. You know, when people sometimes get in leader positions, they get out of control and disrespectful. And they're not really worrying about the little people that's around. They're only concerned about the group that they're trying to portray this role for. So like I said, there's elders, there's children that have been doing their fight as well. Like I said, don't think because a person gets behind the camera and yell and scream and holler and do this and that like they did 50 or 60 years ago, that they are the person or the answer to every single thing that needs to be taken care of. Like I said, only the Most High God, Yah, Christ, is the answer to tell you on how to live your life. You got to be really careful, especially when you sit here saying, I'm the leader of this, I'll control this, I run that. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you one thing about that. You're going to always fall down. You're going to always be pushed aside. I don't care how many people you got behind your back. Somewhere amongst your groups, somebody's going to get angry with you and put you in your place because you're getting a little too much attention. And you may not even know who's around you. That's one thing. It's just like no different than being in a gang and other, or being around a bunch of people. You always got to watch something because somebody's going to fuck up something. Don't you understand? Don't forget, we've been trained to hate each other. And you think that that shit still ain't going? Then when you display this, they say, "Oh, you afraid or you scared or such and such." No, they ain't got nothing to do with that. If you going to lead or so-called lead, which you can't, you going to be a leader. You got to dip in with right along with the same people that's going through the same shit that you dealing with. 100%. If the group is eating a bowl of noodles with some hot dogs, motherfucker, you got to eat it too. Okay. If you got all these folks around you and you controlling them and this and that, and somebody's attacking somebody through the neighborhood that's not of the neighborhood, all of you got to get together and get in it. There's no individual out of this shit. Like I said, some folks are just like worse than the people that really not supposed to do this. What I'm about to say. Filming you giving other people stuff that really need stuff, the homeless people. Like, those people that's filming, oh, I gave this person $10, $20. Look, they got it on camera and they showing everything. I gave them some food. Oh, I gave them this and that. This is what you acting like. We've been here doing this. We've been here doing that. Don't you understand? Don't you know some people from the past that was actually feeding neighborhood people that didn't have nothing to eat? Nobody never knew who they were until later on, till the snitches came about. I'm gonna have to define you in that manner as a snitch because that's how it is. Nobody didn't know what was going on because it was just it's normal life to feed other people that needs to be fed or look out for other people. Ain't nobody trying to use no fucking camera every time you turn around, something going on. So like I said, if you're gonna lead something, make sure you not lead the same damn method. That's how I feel. And I said, don't forget, you got a village behind you. When you do something like that, man, and you trying to direct a group of people, this shit is not easy, man. It's not easy. It's something overnight for you to sit around and uh, um, lead based off of your anger. You got to be careful, man. There's kids in other countries that's really fighting to live, basically. Some of them don't even have no house to live in. Family that got murdered. They the only ones. Some little kids still running around, this and that. You don't hear nothing from them. You don't see them on camera all the time and this and that. And this is the other side of the country. Most of those people are fighting in groups, saying that their land is getting bombed or people doing this and that to their family. Now they all piled together in anger. You see that? Watch some of these channels and see what's going on. You don't see that one person, and this is where you got to really understand and pay attention to what's really taking place to see who's honest and who's real. When everybody's going through something at the same time, okay, and they know for a fact that they all together. Not nobody just sitting there, like I said, on camera screaming and hollering at each other. They fighting amongst in the group to live or find food or shelter or something like that. Pay attention to the other side. I'm saying just like that. Pay attention to the other side. Be watchful of the individual that's saying he's speaking for the group. You gotta be careful. Be careful what he's saying, because if it's the same tired method and the same shit that just keeps going on, be careful. Watch it. Something's up. Like I said, think about your neighborhood and your community first. Top thing. Don't just keep going at these fools. That's how can I say? They're doing things to entice you to go a certain way, and they'll use some of our behavior against us. This is where you gotta really use your fucking head. Stop being a reactionary to every single fucking thing. Okay? You're not the only one out here going through something. You know what I'm saying? And it's the reason why I put this picture, because there's children that's been in hospital or denied medication or denied health care and this and that either died or died, probably was in custody, okay? Foster parent attacked them and beat them up. They didn't do anything, so they ran away from the house. So you ain't the only one fighting. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, me. I'm not even focused on none of that. There's too many of y'all me shit. If I got to die, if I have to do this, if I want to, come on, man. You ain't the only one fighting. Feel me? Peace.